Hello again, friends, and welcome to another fine edition of 151. I'm Adam, and I'm joined by a man who some say he's actually dead, but the Grim Reaper is too scared to tell him.
That's me. I'm Justin.
They call him the Justin. I found a whole, unlike last time, it's a whole list of all the Stig introductions.
Excellent.
And that is just for you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I am a faceless automaton.
Pretty much, that's what your brother would say.
Oh!
Kaboom! If you only knew. Justin and his brother work together. We'll put it that way. Justin's a vice president.
Ooh.
Like, he's big time, man. Him hanging out with us simpletons.
Says the local celebrity.
Oh, shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
So here we are for another edition of 151. If you want to follow us, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, or you can follow us on Twitter at 151 The Show. On Facebook, it's... The hell is that?
Somebody subscribing to us.
Is it really?
Maybe.
Or is it just your phone that you forgot to turn off?
Could be.
Why don't you do that real quick? Facebook is facebook.com/151 The Show. So last time we talked about Rouge One, the brand new Star Wars trailer, and we didn't get a chance to get to the Batman vs. Superman stuff and DC and Suicide Squad. We had originally thought about doing this kind of odds and ends show, but then it was one of those things where it's like, we could do a whole couple shows on these two elements. So
we could do an odds and ends day.
We could really do that and just have it be completely random. And
we like to talk.
Yeah, a little bit. We like to spend a perfectly beautiful Sunday is when we're recording, to talk to you guys in my basement, the 151 studio.
Studio East.
Studio East. Someday.
We haven't opened up Studio West yet.
Not yet. It is under construction at this moment. But no, this week we're going to be talking about Batman vs. Superman and pretty much how DC has gone wrong.
Screwed the pooch.
They really, really have. I've seen Batman vs. Superman.
I still haven't.
You still haven't. There's a couple articles that we're going to get into this. Get into during this. There, that works better. But real quick, my kind of, because Justin hasn't seen it, so I don't want to do
spoiler-free review.
Yeah, because tell everybody the thing you told me about the movie.
Here's the thing that movie has been out for 2 weeks now, and somehow, some way, it still hasn't been spoiled to me, and I have not moderated my internet usage. Besides choosing not to click on an article called Zack Snyder explains why Batman vs. Superman ended the way it did.
Yeah.
I have not censored myself in any way, and that movie has not been spoiled for me. Now, compare that to Deadpool, any of the Avengers, Marvel, anything. I run and hide from the internet. Star Wars, I run and hide from the internet if there's something that I don't see on opening weekend, because with my normal usage between Facebook, the stuff that even Google suggests for me based on my interests, Tumblr, it's ruined. I mean, it is spoiled. Almost 100% every single movie every time, except this one, which tells you, like I think I mentioned last time, Rogue One is the trailer's out, and it is. It has been more talked about. It has been more in my face than Batman vs. Superman. Which
is really surprising because there's been a lot of great memes on Batman vs. Superman because of how they get Batman and Superman together, which knew was going to happen. Well, I'm not spoiling that for you.
No, that's not a spoiler.
But the way they got them together.
Well, I mean, together or together?
Like being friends.
Oh, okay.
I see what you did there.
Yeah.
And it was not needed. I don't know what's wrong with you, but
a lot.
But kind of my just 70,000 foot view of this movie. It's bad.
Yeah,
it's really bad, dude. It's long and it's bad, and it's not bad for the reasons that you think would be bad. Okay. Like I had no problem with Ben Affleck as Bruce Wayne and Batman. I mean, he actually made a pretty good. I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't have a problem with what's his face, Superman. What's it?
Henry Cavill.
Henry Cavill. That's right.
Yep.
Wonder Woman was fine. Alfred was a different take on Alfred. Overall, like the characters weren't the problem.
Yeah.
It's completely the storyline. And the best way I can kind of describe it to you, take the Dark Knight Returns comic or the movie version of the comic, the animated one. Take that, like the whole storyline right there, and then take other stuff and just smush it in on top. It's just bad storytelling.
It's Iron Man 2. It's
not even that. Iron Man 2, you at least kind of saw the point of what was happening.
Yeah, you have a linear. It's an exaggerated version of that kind of cram everything in sort of storytelling.
It's the kind of storytelling where it's like they took 3 or 4 different movies and just cut out pieces and put pieces in with no regard for why something is happening or you know what's the point here? What are we dealing with? It was just bad storytelling.
Yeah.
And it shows. Had a great opening weekend, which you knew it would.
Oh yeah.
And then it dropped off. It had like historically
70%, like over 70%.
It was like 78, I think.
Yeah.
It was like historically a bad drop off for a movie, and it deserves it. There was another article. I have it pulled up here. Cineblend. The whole article is about Batman Superman will reportedly make less money than Man of Steel when it's all said and done.
Ouch.
And that's what it comes down to, man. It's just bad. Just bad storytelling. That's what it was. It's just bad. It's bad.
Well, the only thing that I can hope for, you know, you're talking about Ben Affleck being a good Batman, a good Bruce Wayne, is I was hoping that he would be a little more of a detective in this one than he was in the Dark Knight trilogy. Where is she? Where is he? Where's the bomb?
You know what he's essentially in this one? He's essentially Rocky.
Okay.
Where nobody thinks he can get the job done. He trains. They have epic training montages with Ben Affleck. And apparently if you flip a tractor tire, you can take on Superman.
Good to know.
But it's just...
Pretty sure I've seen Superman do the same thing, only he was flipping an entire tractor.
Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
It was the state of Georgia. He flipped it.
Yeah,
he just flipped the state of Georgia. But no, it's just that the best, like I said, it's bad storytelling. It's like they took 3 movies and just kind of crammed them all. Just like, oh, I like this part. Let's put this in there. And there's a lot of it that doesn't make sense.
It's like watching a highlight reel for something and not watching the whole thing.
A little bit, or it's like you leave. Okay. It's like you start a movie at home, you get up, you go to the bathroom, you come back a half hour later, and some other movie has started.
Gotcha.
Okay? And like I said, I don't want to spoil too much for you, because if you want to go see the movie, you know, I understand it, but it's like some of the motivations don't make sense. That was one of the big parts. Batman's motivations during this whole thing, my headphones just cut out.
Mine too.
Huh, how about that? You know, for whatever reason, it just didn't make sense. Works.
Technical difficulty solved.
Just slam that down as hard as you can. So, yeah, we got this little headphones deal. I can't see it on that camera over there. But anyways, so I'm not going to beat it into the ground with, you know, a lot of the spoilers or anything like that for you, but...
And of course, for our audience at home. I mean, we have tens of people watching.
I know, we really do. That's why you should subscribe to our YouTube.
Or subscribe.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, or follow us on Twitter at 151 The Show, and on Facebook.
You can get this kind of riveting, you know, tense headphone drama action.
You know, if we were in the world of radio, we would have had to call an engineer to come in, submit a request form and all this, and then he'd come down and
whack it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so Batman Superman being bad, it takes me into some of the other stuff that we wanted to talk about. And it's pretty much how DC comic movies, other than, you know, like Nolan's Batman, because that was pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, I can't think of... Have they had any other good, decent movies?
No.
No?
No.
It's where they've completely gone wrong, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to explain it to you, and you're going to discuss it with me.
I will.
Okay. What starts this, there was no humor in Batman and Superman. Like, I can think of like 2 jokes.
Yeah, see, DC has a strict no joke policy.
2.5 hours of movie and 2 jokes.
Yeah.
An article came out that Suicide Squad is doing massive reshoots
Okay.
to put out and put more humor into Suicide Squad. That pretty much someone listed it as all the funny moments that you've seen in the trailer.
Is it?
That's it.
Okay. And that's pretty sad from a movie that's being marketed as kind of a zany madcap, sort of, take on things.
Sorry.
To add more humor to it is a little disheartening.
Suicide Squad is such a different idea of a movie. I mean, it's bad guys teaming up to save the world. That's a cool concept.
Certainly is.
And if you don't have especially with the characters they have, like Harley Quinn, she's kind of zany and out there.
Yeah. I mean, that's it. You want the perfect Harley Quinn, go look at the Bruce Timm animated series. I mean, that was her sort of job.
Yeah.
To be the wacky, hey, Mr. J.
So they're doing these massive reshoots on this to make it funnier, to make it more what people want. And it scares me. Usually when you see a movie do massive reshoots like this, that's a bad thing.
Well, it depends. I mean, it depends on whether they're adding, whether they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna punch it up, we're gonna make this scene, we're gonna reshoot this scene and add these elements, or whether it's gonna be just a serious. Oh, we've got 3 minutes of wacky, zany, Deadpool-like comedy, and then back to serious. I mean, if it works. If it's a disjoint, it's going to ruin the movie.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of worried about with this, is whether or not it's going to, if you're going to notice when they cut these movies, if you're going to notice them doing all this,
Yeah, it just depends on how they jar it. If they reshoot a scene and just punch it up a little bit, it'll be one thing. I mean, I guess the only thing that maybe I can say makes me okay with this, or think it'll be a good thing, is the fact that they are apparently learning from their mistakes.
No, they're not. If they're learning from mistakes, or even their mistakes, they would have already gone away from this. What the problem with them now is they are scared that they're going to lose money, and lose money big.
Well, but I mean, it's too late to change the movie as shot. But if they say, "Oh my God, we've got the supposed to be the wacky zany movie, and it's actually like pretty deathly serious from beginning to end. We've got to go reshoot this before it gets out there." They have learned. I mean, they are learning.
I guess what I mean by that is, after how bad Man of Steel got panned by everybody, that they should have known this already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true. But I mean, it's better late than never.
Yeah.
I guess is what I'm looking at.
So the other thing that kind of comes out with this is DC, saying that they don't want to create a Marvel universe. They don't want to do what Marvel did. They don't want to be a part of this, right? And I'm going to make the argument that they are. That they are trying to do exactly what Marvel did.
Well, yeah. I mean, they're not.
Oh, we're going to make it darker, but we're essentially doing the same thing, where we're taking different movies, different characters, and having them lead to Justice League.
Yeah. It is a shared universe no matter what you do. The only thing that they're saying that they're doing different is because you do have some DC properties on TV right now.
Yeah.
The Flash, Arrow, Supergirl, that they're making them a separate. They're not making a cinematic universe. Yeah. They're making a movie series.
Yeah.
As if that somehow makes them better by excluding television.
And I'm going to say that's where they made their biggest mistake.
Well, essentially what they said is, we're going to let the silly stuff be on TV, and that's fine, but we're going to make a serious set of movies here, and this subject matter must be treated very seriously and taken to an extreme, and it will be proper and grim and dark and serious, and no one will smile, because who laughs at a comic book, right?
Oh, yeah, who would ever do something like that? No, what my suggestion is for all of this is they should have stayed away from a movie universe or shared universe or whatever completely. What DC should have done, and it could have been a very cool idea, is instead of doing this shared universe, instead of doing, we're gonna lead to a Justice League movie, which really, if you think about it, do we really need a Justice League movie? I mean, is that one that people are really climbing all over themselves for?
Maybe. We don't know yet.
What I would have done and what I think DC should have done, and maybe you'll agree, maybe you'll disagree, is you have all of these very iconic characters, whether it's Batman, whether it's Superman, even Wonder Woman. You have, within their realm of comic books, you have these very awesome stories. Like, take Batman, for instance. You have Nightfall. You have The Killing Joke. You have, you could list, I've got a list somewhere, but I don't have it pulled up right now.
Which they are going to do The Killing Joke
As
coming up animated with Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill back as the Joker. To me, the end-all, be-all, iconic voices of Batman and the Joker.
Oh, totally agree. But you have all of these great stories.
Yep.
Why don't you make those and do them really well? Don't worry about taking, like Batman, Superman, where it's like, oh, hey, we've got this great story of Dark Knight Returns. We can use that as a launching pad for Justice League. Why not just take that story and do that movie? Now, hold on one second before you get going. If you want to do sequels and you want to do, if you want to keep Ben Affleck, say we're going to do 3 movies with you, but they're going to be, we're going to do The Killing Joke. We're going to do Dark Knight Returns. We're going to do Nightfall, which Nightfall could be a cool set of movies, like 2 movies.
Yep.
Have him getting his back broke.
Yeah.
But anyways, you do these stories and you do them really well.
Yes.
And you don't worry about cramming 3 other comic book stories into one.
Yep.
People would pay money for that.
What you have, you already have that happening, but you have it on the Warner Brothers animation side. You have the output that the animated stuff, like Justice League versus Teen Titans, I think was the last one. You have some really good Green Lantern stuff. You've had the Superman, Batman team-ups in the past. You had Wonder Woman stories. You've had, Flash stories. You've had all that. And it's been exactly what you're talking about. It has been the adaptation of the comic books, those stories kept in an animated form, really done really, really well. And it's been better than anything that Warner Brothers has put out live action, as far as I'm concerned. Probably since, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
Then if it works so well there, you're telling me that people want to go see that movie.
I'm telling you that people would see that movie. What I'm launching into here is the fact that you can't get a Zack Snyder, who else would they bring in? A Chris Nolan, to take a story that's already done and tell it. And tell it competently and tell it well. You can't get it. That their ego is not, because they're a story creator, they're a storyteller. It's got to be I'm going to take this, but then I'm going to do all this to change it to make it my own. I'm going to give it a twist. I'm going to, create.
Okay, that's fine. But when you have, the studio execs of DC, jumping in and saying, well, we got to do it like this. You got to, we're going. This is leading towards Justice League, or this is leading towards this. Instead of them doing that, and maybe it's more on their executive side, if they say, listen, this is the base for the comic. We want you to do Death in a Family. We'll just take that one. Take it to, Zack Snyder or Chris Nolan, and say, here's the basis of the story we want you to tell. It's not leading to Justice League. It's not leading to some shared universe or something like this. The only sharing would be as if, like Batman, Ben Affleck is him here. If we do another story,
Yeah.
Or if we have, it's going to be the same Batman. That's the only shared there is. We're not leading towards something.
Yep.
We want a really great live action version of Death in the Family. If you want to make some twists on it, or bring it up to, from the when was that, 80s?
Yeah, I think
if you want to modernize it a little bit, that's cool. But tell this story and tell it really well.
Because if you retell the same story, that comic book writer, that wrote that story in the 80s, just made bank.
Maybe.
if you take that and say, oh no, it's substantially different enough that it's a inspired by but a new story,
Yeah.
then suddenly all the credits, who gets paid, et cetera, what they have rights to, all of this all changes. Now I mean, I don't know I guess how that Hollywood system and accreditation system works, but I have to think that falls into it.
Wouldn't that be better than just getting blasted by every critic out there? Wouldn't that be better? Like, jumping through those hoops, isn't that better than having a half-assed movie that, hey, we need to get to Justice League?
You're talking about people who already have their heads so far up their asses that they thought Man of Steel and Batman v Superman were good movies and continued on this track.
Which, by the way, random thing about those movies, I took a picture of what are their social media ads for this the other day.
Yeah.
And they had like the Twitter feed where it's like, hey, this is the greatest movie ever. Hey, this is, glorious. Da 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 da. I'm
Yeah.
like, who the is saying this stuff?
Yeah.
And I looked up some of the names. It's like people like me.
Oh,
It's
nice.
it's no real, because I thought it was critics who said
Yeah.
this. No, it's
No,
just
it's
it's
just-
like,
DC fanboys.
yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Guy's got 300 followers or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but anyways, back to the point. I mean, to me, especially with how they failed with movies over the last, because let's face it, other than Dark Knight, the Christopher Nolan stuff,
Yeah.
they pretty much failed at movies.
Yeah, pretty much.
And to me, if I'm going down the direction of, this movie that was supposed to make us so much money is going to make less than the really bad Superman movie we put out, maybe we need to rethink this. And if we have to pay a couple more other people for story rights or whatever, to make a good movie, let's do it.
And I think that's a difference in approach because DC has this, I've called them this before, this holy trinity of characters that they don't know how to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end, they want to make this a serious take. They want to make this, we have to treat these with reverence and respect, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Meanwhile, Marvel says, let's make Tony Stark get drunk and do something funny.
Or let's take the Mandarin and make him a complete opposite character.
Exactly. Let's bake a stinky bathroom joke in the middle of Iron Man 3. Let's do something irreverent. Let's make these characters, human.
Yeah.
Let's not put them up on a pedestal.
I don't have a problem with DC making darker movies. But don't sit there and tell me that you're trying to do something completely different than Marvel when you are doing exactly what Marvel did. The only thing you're doing is you're making it without jokes.
But if you're gonna do that, then make a humorless Batman movie, and then when it gets to the Justice League, let's get a scene where Wonder Woman, Flash, and Superman are all sitting around trying to figure out how to make Batman smile. I mean, who can make him laugh? Let's treat that with the way that it would be and the way that it has been portrayed for 70 years. I mean, you can't tell me, we don't do this because, that's not in character, blah, 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 blah. No, that's completely in character. You've gone to the Frank Millers and the gritty takes, which is in the small minority of percentage of stories, and said, well, this is how these characters have been portrayed and we can't do anything different. Well, no, you do all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, that Warner Brothers animated studio, they're turning out the stuff that they should be doing over the live action, but they're not doing it. That is
totally agree.
higher quality than anything that they've turned out.
I just think that they should be doing, if you want to sit there and do something different, take these stories and tell them well. Don't take a Batman versus Superman, which that's what the movie should have been. It should be Batman and Superman. As great as Wonder Woman was in it, she didn't really need to be there.
Yep.
She didn't need to be there. Doomsday sure didn't need to be there.
Oh, thank you. Doomsday's in it, huh?
You didn't. Come on. Really? You didn't see the trailer with him?
Yeah, I did.
I mean, come on, dude.
I'm just yanking you. Quick segue.
Yeah.
Best Batman. Completely. Adam West, through current day. Who's your best Batman?
Does Kevin Conroy count?
No.
Okay.
No, we're gonna go screen.
I'd either say Michael Keaton or what's his name?
Christian Bale.
Christian Bale.
Okay. Now, here's a follow up, and this is where it
Oh.
gets tricky, and this might change your first answer.
Okay.
Best Bruce Wayne.
I kind of like Ben Affleck.
Okay. And having not see my best Batman is Christian Bale.
Okay.
My best Bruce Wayne is Michael Keaton.
Okay.
And the reason I say that is because Michael Keaton, I thought, was the only one who actually captured that little bit of underlying insanity.
Okay.
When he grabs the poker and says, "Let's get crazy," that's Batman. That's right there under the surface.
Okay.
I mean, that to me, that is the guy who is crazy enough to put on a rubber suit and go around and beat up bad guys at night.
Okay, let me ask you this, and it's kind of still within this realm. If they hadn't have done such a good job with in the Nolan series, the bat suit, the technology, the toys, and all that,
Yep.
would it have been as good of a movie?
See, and to me, I go back to I go all the way back to the '60s. That was all Adam West, baby.
I do like when he says, "I never had to tell anybody I was Batman."
Exactly.
So, anyways, kind of back to the point of this. I think DC that was good though. I mean, it's
Well-
hard to tell.
And I would ask the same thing of this dual identity. For me, best Clark Kent, Christopher Reeve. Best Superman, I think Henry Cavill, actually kills it pretty hard as Superman. Story aside,
Yeah.
just to be Superman, from what I've seen out of Man of Steel. Now, granted, he was fumbling towards that, and I'll be curious to see it in this, but I really think that he makes a very good Superman.
Can I change my answer for best Batman to Pete Holmes?
Yes, you can.
He's the
I'm standing right here.
Hope starts with an H, stupid. That is the best.
On my planet, this simple means hope. Yeah, well, the bat on our planet means you're going to get your your kneecaps fed to you.
Yeah. So there's a lot of things that DC is doing wrong, and I really think that they should bite the bullet. And if like you said, they have to give money to these people that came up with this stuff, then so be it. But damn it, put out a good movie. Put out one that and Marvel's not doing that. Marvel's not taking these singular stories and making good movies out of them.
No.
They're doing the shared universe. They're doing this. Do something different.
And they're doing it really well.
Yeah.
I mean, they've thrown, extremist elements, obviously, with the Iron Man stuff, the Winter Soldier stuff.
Yeah.
They have got the lock on this shared universe.
Yeah. Do something different. That's all I'm saying. If you're going to do it, do something different. Because these are great stories.
Do an anthology series.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you want to have Batman and Wonder Woman in the same movie as Superman, there
better be a great sex scene.
No, do the man who has everything. That
Yeah.
one where the plant has got Superman. He's doing the bottle world of Kandor. I think it's one of the greatest stories of all time.
That I have no idea what the title is.
Well, it's for the man who has everything. They actually did the Justice League episode on it.
Yeah, where he had the thing on his chest.
Yep, with the plant taking over his brain, and then
thought it
Wonder
was
Woman
an
trying to
animal.
break out. It was an animal.
It was like
I
a
thought it was
giant
plant.
starfish or something. And then because it was in the future, and it was Batman Beyond was in it.
No, that's a different one.
Oh, okay. Anyways, that pretty much wrap up the DC. You think?
For what they should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then as soon as you see Batman vs Superman, we'll actually do a review of it.
We will. I promise. I will find some time and I will get this movie watched and we'll do a real review.
All right, that's gonna do it.
Spoiler filled.
That's right, because that's what we do here. That's going to do it for us this time. 151. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel. But we don't end there. No, we have to do a shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Cue the music.
All All right, this week's shameless plug is actually coming from me, and we probably should have done it the last time during the Star Wars thing because it is so Star Wars heavy. If you want a lightsaber or as close to a lightsaber as you're ever going to get, go to saberforge.com.
Tell me more.
And they have them. They have these lightsabers that these nerds use for dueling, like where they wail on each other. There's a YouTube video, and I'll put a link for it here. It's this guy wailing on a tree with this lightsaber.
So there's a blade and everything involved.
Yeah, it's like some high density plastic or something like that. But it's all made out of like forged aluminum.
Hello, kitty cat.
Apparently, my cat wanted to be a part of the shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
You're getting a really good view of his butthole.
Elevator butt. Elevator butt. Elevator butt.
Okay, get down, Kennick. Hey, go on. Oh, and he squirted.
Oh,
That's gross. Thanks for ruining my shameless plug, you little bastard. He has an anal gland.
yeah.
No, it totally has a blade. It has a sound card in it. It has everything. The hilts are made out of like forged aluminum.
I'm intrigued.
Basically, they're customizable. The blade is like this high density plastic or something like that. I don't know. It's got real bright LED lights, and it's basically as close to a lightsaber as you're ever going to get.
And this is saberforge.com.
Saberforge.com. Here, I got it pulled up over here if you want to see, or you can put it there.
I'm bringing it up right now.
But they have 3 different levels of lightsabers. They have apprentice sabers, elite sabers, and crystal sabers. Crystal ones are the real detailed ones. But they've got...
Wow, this stuff looks impressive.
It really is.
And again, like all of our shameless plugs, these are not sponsors.
No, this is just...
We're not receiving a dime. We'd love to.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to send us a lightsaber based on this, we'll get you our
On
contact information.
The
but
10 people that'll watch this video.
tens of people.
Anyways, it's made out of all these aluminum parts. They've got a like power source in it. You can buy it as like, say you just want a lightsaber hilt for your desk. You can buy just that.
Yeah.
Okay. Or you can go up to a tier 2, which you'll get the saber hilt. You'll get the hyper durable VH Infinity blade.
In multiple color or multiple links, I see.
Yep. You can get tier 3. You can get the hilt plus the blade plus the sound card, so it makes all the sounds.
Yep.
When you impact, it makes a sound.
Yep. And I see the tier 4. You can get infinite blade colors with instant swap.
Yeah.
So that's only.
And it's all customizable. You can buy like, say you get the Acolyte.
100
You can get it made where it looks like it's been weathered, where it's older. You can get pretty much any color blade you want.
Yep.
You can even get a belt clip.
Wow.
Okay.
I'm looking at the crystal chamber, the really detailed one, with all the goodies. $665 for the tier 4, but my goodness, you'd never need another one, would you?
No, under the apprentice ones, if you go back out, the is it Bastion? Bastion?
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
Yeah.
That's one of their newer blades.
That's the one that comes up right on the home screen. That's pretty impressive.
And even
it's clean. I like it.
Yeah, if you ever really want a lightsaber, go and check out Saber Forge. It's very cool.
Again, this is we're not getting paid for this.
No.
These are just, if you're going to spend your hard-earned money, here's our recommendation.
I could get everything I want for under $400.
There you go.
The problem is filling out the request sheet to my wife.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of paperwork, that's where it gets held
I
up.
was like, come on, it's only like, for one of my side jobs, it's like only 2 jobs. No.
Yeah. Well,
It's like it's not going to happen. So
she wants to keep, the roof over your head and clothed and fed. And
how dare she?
I know.
So, all right, friends, that's going to do it for this week. 151. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Until next time, have a good one. If you like this video as much as Justin did, please make sure to follow us on these other fine media platforms.